The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes. Now in our 10th year of broadcasting each week, we continue talking with the Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today, we're going to start off the show talking with Monet Baker, who is with Patch. That's People
Attentive to Children.
People Attentive to Children. That's cool. You picked up the CH to make it Patch.
Right.
I like that.
Some people note it as People Attentive to Children in Hawaii, but technically we're People Attentive to Children.
Hey, either way, it works, right?
Right.
That's cool. Now, that's a statewide organization.
Yes, we are statewide. We have offices on Oahu, West Hawaii, East Hawaii, and Kauai.
Okay, so that makes you the Maui coordinator.
Yes, I'm the Maui County coordinator. So I oversee Patch's operations on Maui, Molokai, and Lanai.
Wow. Does that mean you travel a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
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 So how big is the agency serving? How big? How large a population are they serving on Molokai and Lanai?
So primarily we service Molokai and Lanai child care providers. So there are 2 licensed centers on Lanai, and there are 8 on Molokai.
Wow, interesting. Okay, so now you've opened the door to what you do, because you talked about you serve these service centers.
Yes.
Or these license centers. So Patch is responsible for what when it comes to those centers?
So just in regards to a scope of services of what we do is we are Hawaii's statewide child care resource and referral agency. So we provide referral lists furnished by the Department of Human Services, who are contracted through. Resource lists have licensed child care providers throughout the state. If you call into any of our offices, you can get a referral list of whatever type of licensed provider that you like. So say you would like a list of licensed preschools in the upcountry area. We can provide you with that. It's specifically tailored to each client. We also offer early childhood education scholarships in increments of $750. We host the Preschool Open Doors Subsidy Program, which can help to pay for 100% up to 100% of licensed preschool costs for 4-year-old children in Hawaii. You get to choose whichever licensed preschool you want, as long as they're a licensed site or group child care home that's licensed with the state. And it's kind of like a kindergarten readiness program. So unlike other subsidies, there is no employment requirement, which makes Preschool Open Doors very unique.
Wow.
So it's pretty much open to anyone. Like I said, up to 100% of licensed preschool costs for 4-year-old children can be paid for, and also up to $125 for registration fee as well. We also help families start their own licensed family child care program out of their home. So if they're licensed to care, or if they decide to open up a licensed daycare out of their home, they can care for up to 6 children. They can also get reimbursed for serving healthy, balanced meals in their programs through the USDA food program, which we also monitor. Let's see what else. And we also offer career counseling and professional development opportunities, such as free trainings and conferences for those who are interested in pursuing early childhood education as a career path. Basically, anything related to early childhood education in Hawaii, we are kind of like the hub for the state.
Wow, that's quite a lot. I think the most impressive piece to me is the preschool open doors, where you're talking about the up to 100% of the cost.
Right.
Because I hear families talking about what it costs these days if they have one or two or three kids that are around that age and starting school and so forth. And I mean, some of the numbers I hear are staggering.
Right. Yeah. So preschool can be very expensive. The most expensive preschool that we found on Maui is $1,200 a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it ranges. Central Maui, the average cost for licensed preschool for a 4-year-old child is around $850 per month, and that may or may not include meals. It depends on the program. So it's imperative that families apply for preschool open doors if they're interested. We are currently accepting applications for preschool open doors up until March 29th. So that will be, that's a Friday, March 29th. Families can either fill out the application and mail it to our Oahu office, who actually processes the applications. And the address for our Oahu office is listed on our application. Families can also fax it, they can email it, or if they would prefer to have like a paper trail that it was successfully sent, they can bring it into the Maui Patch office, which is in Wailuku off of Lower Main Street. So if you're familiar with where Bamboo Grill or Homemade Bakery is off of Lower Main Street, we are in Pu'u'one Plaza, a 2-story brown building directly to the right of Homemade Bakery. We're in Suite C217. So if families would like to bring in their applications, we can scan them and email them over to our Oahu Patch office for processing, and we can CC the families on that email so that they know it was successfully sent and on time.
Interesting. Now, you said something that I'm not sure that I caught quite correctly, and that was that we're not talking about an application that has to show any kind of certain income. It can have no income. You can not be working and still apply for the scholarship.
That is correct. Yeah. So if families are employed, they will need to include at least the past 2 consecutive months of pay stubs. If they are not employed, that's not a problem at all. Like I said, Preschool Open Doors is a kindergarten readiness program, and is designed as such so that if families are not employed, their children can still attend preschool through the Preschool Open Doors subsidy program. Some items that families will need to bring in if they would like to apply. It's like I said, if families are employed, they'll need to bring in the past 2 consecutive months of pay stubs. They'll need to bring in birth certificate for the child that they're looking to apply for. And then social security cards for everyone in their immediate family. And if they don't have the cards themselves, they can just include the social security numbers on the application.
Ah, okay. Now, thinking about what you said about the tuition for preschool,
Yes.
there's probably some parents out there that have quit working to take care of those kids at this age rather than trying to come up with enough money to put them in school so they can work.
Right. Yeah, childcare is a huge expense in Hawaii, and we're so grateful to be offering the Preschool Open Doors subsidy program through the state, as we're contracted through the State of Hawaii Department of Human Services to conduct the Preschool Open Doors subsidy program. We also have several other resources for financial aid for preschool. Not necessarily preschool, for childcare. So that includes licensed or unlicensed childcare in our office, including the Maui County Early Childhood Resource Center subsidy, which can help to pay for up to $200 towards licensed childcare. Also, Child Care Connection Hawaii, which can help to pay for licensed or unlicensed child care. And then also Quality Care for Hawaiian Keiki through Maui Family Support Services, which can help to pay for licensed or unlicensed child care for families or children that have a Hawaiian background.
Gotcha.
So if families are looking for those resources for financial aid, because childcare is such an enormous expense for families in Hawaii and Maui County especially, families are welcome to come into our office. They're welcome to call us at 242-9232 or email us at patch@hi.org, and we're happy to send them those resources directly.
That's an incredible service. I'm just astounded at the dollars. I mean, how can you afford to have a child?
Right.
Let alone 2 or 3. It's just, and then there was something else you said in your introductory comments about maybe you're thinking about starting a licensed center.
Right.
Now, that's not a preschool. That's just or is it?
So we can help individuals start their own licensed family child care home program out of the comfort of their own home. So they could get paid for caring up to 6 children in their home. They get to choose their hours. They get to choose their rates, their rules that might go in their parent handbook. It would be a small business venture. Currently, Maui County has 55 licensed family child care providers, and that's on the island of Maui, Molokai, and Lanai. We're always needing more. Especially those providers that are looking to care for infants. Infant care is a huge demand in Maui County, as there are very minimal spaces, and it seems as though families are kind of like fighting for those spaces because they need to go back to work.
Right. Now, do they take less children if they do infants?
So family child care providers that are registered with the state, if they're licensed to care for infants, which the state qualifies infants as children that are 18 months of age or younger, 2 of those 6 children can be infants.
I see, okay.
So 18 months or younger. And several family child care providers in Maui County have opted to kind of raise the rates a little bit for infant care because it is very demanding care. With feedings, holding baby, versus, like a 3-year-old child that might be like toddling around, playing with toys and other children.
So starting your own in-home care is not a one-person job. They're going to have help.
So there are some family child care providers that do incorporate their spouses or another family member into their business, but a lot of Maui County's family child care providers are women that are kind of woman shop for child care.
Okay, that's somebody who knows how to handle a family full of children.
Right.
Wow, that's it's amazing to me. You said 55 of these centers now.
Yes.
So that's, if each one is full, that's 6. That's 330 children.
Yes.
There's obviously much more of a need than that.
Yes, most definitely. And licensed family child care is kind of like introductory right before preschool. There are some family child care providers that operate their business like a small preschool, which might be like more one-on-one versus going to a large preschool environment. So depending on what families are looking for in a licensed childcare space, they're welcome to call us, and like I said, we can provide them with a referral list that would include all of the different options in Maui County or a specified area depending on what they're needing for their child.
Now, is there any special education that someone needs to have to be able to become licensed?
So if a provider is looking to become licensed, like a licensed family child care provider, so they'll need to take 16 hours of annual health and safety training.
Okay.
They would also need to have CPR and first aid training through an approved provider with DHS. And then they'd also need to get fingerprinted and to fill out an application for family child care licensing with DHS. They can get an application from DHS. Their office is located at 27 Waihu Beach Road, Suite 107 in Wailuku. So if you are in Wailuku over by Jack in the Box, they're directly across the way on Waihu Beach Road. It's kind of like in a strip center where there's a gas station.
Yeah.
So they're over there at 270 Waihu Beach Road. If families would like to become a licensed family child care provider and they would like assistance, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, Patch offers that service too. So we can go over the application with you. We can do home visits to determine if everything might look good for DHS to come and determine whether or not you could get licensed or not. We can help you get enrolled with the USDA food program, which can help to pay for or reimburse you for healthy, balanced meals that would be served to children enrolled in your program, because that's a huge benefit that families and parents like myself look for. Like, who serves food? So I don't have to pack that every day, and it's you know, I know it's going to be a healthy meal, and something that my child might be interested in. So we can help you through that process if you're looking at becoming a licensed family child care provider. And we actually have a former licensed family child care provider on staff named Brenda, and she does that specifically.
Wow.
Yeah, helps potential providers go through that process.
Well, you're the place to go. Hello, that's fabulous. I'm gonna cut you off for just a minute. We got to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our Maui Nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out what's happening in their world. Today we started off the show talking with Monet Becker, who is the Maui County Coordinator for Patch. That's People Attentive to Children. And your programs are just awesome. I mean, this is, gosh, you're busy, aren't you?
Yes, and we're very grateful to be serving Hawaii's families and child care providers, because child care is always going to be a need, and we're happy to support and improve upon the quality of care for Hawaii's keiki.
Right. Now, you said this is like, the preschool is just prior to kindergarten. Is that kind of how it fits?
Yeah, so preschool, generally when children are going into preschool, they might be between like 3 and 5 years of age. There are some preschools that offer care at 2 years, but there are not very very providers in Maui County that offer preschool for 2-year-old children. If families were looking for that kind of center care. For a 2-year-old child, they might be interested in an infant toddler center. Or if they were looking for more of that one-on-one experience and individualized attention, it might be families might be more suited to a licensed family child care provider.
Interesting. Now, there was one other thing before the break that as you were talking about the licensed in the home centers,
Yes.
care centers. Now, does the home get inspected and so forth by someone that it's a safe place for the children?
Yeah, so if a family sends their child to a licensed or registered family child care provider, they are registered with the State of Hawaii Department of Human Services. They do conduct regular announced and unannounced visits. And that's DHS. At Patch, we are not aware of when those visits might take place. The DHS child care licensing worker might just pop in, might let the provider know ahead of time that they're going to be coming. If a licensed family child care provider is on the USDA food program, we at Patch go visit their home to make sure everything is kept in line, that they're serving the meals that they're supposed to be, meals are healthy and balanced, and at the correct time of day. So at Patch, we will do those announced or unannounced visits.
I see. Okay. Is there kind of a typical hours of the day when these operate? Like do they start at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning? Or, I mean, they're probably all different, but in general.
Yeah, so across the state, licensed child care businesses are very different. So one program might offer care Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. Other centers might operate Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. or 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. If families are looking for specific times or days of the week for childcare and they're wanting to know what resources are available, they can call or visit our website, patchhawaii.org, and we're happy to generate a referral list so that they can look through their options because there are a lot of options and it might be a little overwhelming, but if families have those resources, I found as a parent, because I've conducted a referral list for myself when I was choosing for my son, when you have those resources, it helps you to make a more informed decision, and you're going to feel better about making that decision for your child if you are more informed.
Right. And of course you want something that's going to accommodate your schedule.
Right.
And if you work part-time for somebody and Monday, Wednesday, Friday works, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
If you need full-time, then you obviously want to eliminate those unless you've got grandparents or somebody who wants to take the child during those other days.
Right.
And of course, here in Hawaii, we have a lot of people who don't have grandma and grandpa handy. So that probably puts even more emphasis on the need for childcare.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. There was one other thing that you mentioned that before we run out of time, I'd like to talk about, and you mentioned unlicensed homes.
Yes. So if a provider is, so the state does not regulate or register providers that are caring for 2 children or less that are unrelated to them. If providers are caring for 2 or more children that are unrelated to them, so not cousin, not family member, or anything like that, the state has to register them. They must be.
Right.
There are some providers, and there are some in Maui County that operate without a license, and technically they should not be. So, if families are caring for more than 2 children that are unrelated to them in their home on a regular basis, they need to be licensed.
Right. So that's something parents should check and make sure
Yes.
whether the provider they're looking to work with is licensed or not.
Yes.
Now, in the licensed situation, we're talking about 6 children, 2 of which could be infants. Can you have your own children as part of those 6, or are they beyond that 6?
So they would
One's
have
at
to
home.
be part of those 6.
Okay.
If families, so the state doesn't regulate also if a family wanted to care for several children that were related to them, there's no cap on that.
No rules. Okay.
Yeah. So a family could take care of like 10 children as long as they were related to them,
I see.
blood related to them. The state would
That's
not
just
oversee
family and friends. Yeah.
that. Right.
Okay. But now, if somebody starts, let's take somebody who has had to give up a job because of children, and not being able to place them because of the cost of placing them, and they want to start a child center of their own. Where was I going with this? I lost the question in the background. Can they start out unlicensed and work towards being licensed in the process, or do they have to be licensed when they open the door?
So if they'd like to operate without a license at first and just care for 2 children that
Okay.
were unrelated to them and kind of build up their waiting list or something and take on those wait listed children once they became licensed, that would be fine. There are some providers that have operated that way and gotten their license and that kind
It's
of
kind
time.
of kind of a way to test the water.
Right.
You know,
right.
do I really want to? I've got 1. That's okay, but 6. I don't know if I want 6, but I don't really want just 2 either,
Sure.
because it becomes a money making thing at some point, or hopefully it does, because that's why you're doing it. Because you can't go out and get a job.
Right.
You're going to operate from your home, which means the home has to be in certain condition and meet all the criteria, which all could cost some money to make it that way. But it's interesting, and you can help them go make those steps. And how, if somebody really is determined to become licensed, is there? There's no time constraint there. I mean, you can move through this as quickly as you want, or can, or not.
So once they get the application packet from DHS on Waihe Beach Road, they have 90 days to complete it
Oh, okay.
and turn it in. So that includes getting their 16 hours of health and safety training, getting their CPR and first aid training, getting fingerprinted, filling out all of the application, and including the supporting documents. In those 90 days, we can support those potential providers by doing the home visits, working with them through the application packet, providing them with resources like sample parent handbooks and stuff like that. We also offer free trainings on child development and how to become a licensed family child care provider. Our series, the basic series, is just a basic overview on how to become a licensed family child care in Hawaii, and it's taught by a former licensed family child care provider who's very familiar with the process. She was a provider for many years, and it's a great resource that if a potential provider was looking at becoming a licensed family child care provider, I would 100% recommend that they take those trainings if they're serious.
Gotcha. So there's kind of an outside window within 90 days.
Yes.
So it's not something that if you think someday down the road I'm going to do this. I mean, you could get the packet and find out what it's all about.
Sure.
But once you start the process, you've got 90 days.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
if
great.
they just wanted to let that 90 days run out and then 90 days later get another packet,
Right. Start.
they
again.
could start
Yeah.
again.
Gotcha. Monet, thank you for being here.
Thank
that's a
you.
fast half hour, isn't
Right.
it? Huh?
Yeah, thank you.
We've been talking with Monet Becker, who's the Maui County Coordinator for PATCH, PATCH, which is People Attentive to Children. Thank you so much. And you can
thank
reach her
you.
at 242-9232, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Susie.
I've learned a lot. But I know one thing. I don't think I want to take care of a preschooler. I don't think I'd be good with 6 kids. I'm not good with one puppy dog, so. But maybe it would teach me how to be more moderate with things and not spoil. Is that right? Does that work that way?
Sure, working with children can be, very demanding, but it's also very rewarding work. And working with those providers too, because they need the support as well.
Right, I got you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to shift gears here now, and we're going to talk to someone from EMUA Family Services. Gemma, is that right?
That's right.
Gemma Medina, who is the Educational Director for EMUA Family Services. You've got a big conference coming up this weekend.
We do. It's our annual Early Childhood Development Conference. It's happening this weekend at our office located in Kahului. We're really, really excited to have the keynote speaker who is coming. Her name is Ashley Rhodes Corder, and she is actually a social worker. So interestingly, in the past, we've had our conference and we've often utilized our own staff, occupational therapists, preschool teachers, and people like that, speech and language pathologists, but we've never actually had a social worker come to do our conference. So we're really excited to have her.
Interesting. Now, what kind of things are they going to talk about or discuss?
Well, she's an internationally known motivational speaker, and she wrote a book called 3 Little Words, and her book is actually based on her life. It's her memoir of growing up in the foster care system. So she has some harrowing stories from her own childhood, and she's going to speak to us about resilience and kind of moving through those and how to live a positive life even in light of some of the negative experiences that you may have had as a child.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who would be interested in coming to a conference like this?
It is open and available to social workers. It's for early childhood professionals such as preschool teachers, anyone really that's working in the field of early childhood that is interested in the topic is welcome to join us.
How convenient that we talked about preschools,
Right.
huh? Gosh, it's like this thing was organized or something, huh? Wonderful. So is there a fee for this?
There is a fee, so it's $50 per person, and we have a student rate for $25 for students.
Okay, and there's still space available?
There's still a few spaces available, yes.
Okay, and they should, can they make a phone call, or do they go to
can
your
call
website?
us. They
or
can go
how?
to our website, so you can call at 244 244-7467. That's EMUA at 244-7467.
Okay.
Or they can go to our website, emuafamilyservices.org.
Okay, great. So that's this Saturday, and where is this going to be held?
It's going to be at the EMUA offices, which is at 161 South Wakea, just right behind Kahumanu Shopping Center.
Very good. How's the center working out for you? What's it been, 3 years?
I think we're entering our 4th year this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going really well. We've branched out and added a few additional programs. We now have an autism services program that works with children on the autism spectrum. We have our inclusion preschool program, which offers preschool education and care for children, for 20 children between the ages of 3 and 5. And we have our early intervention services, so we offer services for children that have developmental delays or special needs from 0 to 3 as well.
Wow. I marvel at all you folks that work with children like this. I don't know. I think I missed that piece in my life or something, but it's, I love having nieces and nephews and all that, this kind of thing, but I think I'd love that because then I can say, okay, here, it's back to you. And give the kids back at some point.
Well, we can
do
that too in the preschools.
Well, that's true. In the school you can, right? Yeah. Now, staffing for an organization like yours must be just an ongoing thing.
It is definitely an ongoing thing, yes. We're often looking for different expertise.
Right. Because I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think that at some point a lot of people get burned out.
They do. We're very fortunate at EMUA that we do have a very good sort of vacation package and PTO and those kinds of things. So we are fortunate in that way. But it is draining to work with children and it's a lot. But like Manette said earlier, it's very rewarding as well.
Right. Well, the success stories that I've heard from Dean Wong, who's your CEO, who is usually on the show. I understand he's over in Oahu
Yes, he
giving
is.
some testimony today or something. it's the success stories are the ones that you concentrate on.
Right.
They give you the momentum to go and continue. It's kind of like those of us in the affordable housing business. It's such a struggle to get them built, but once you hand the keys to the new owners, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Right. When you see the look in the eyes of a child that all of a sudden has made that progress, and you've been a part of that, it really is truly heartwarming.
We're going to take another short break. We're going to be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, where we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors and staff about what's happening in their world. And each of our agencies have such diverse activities going on. It just so happened that today we're talking pretty much about like preschool 0 to 5 kinds of things for the children in the community. And to me, it's awesome that these services are available. And I guess if there's one problem related to these resources, it's that there's just not enough of it. I mean, I would think like EMUA probably has a waiting list.
Many of our programs do have a waiting list. Yes.
Yeah, it just because they're so important, and when people finally realize they have a problem that they need to address with one of their children, they want the help.
Right. Right, and we go as quickly as possible through that wait list and make sure that they get the help that they need.
Yeah, it's just it's an awesome responsibility. And we're talking with Gemma Medina, who is the educational director for EMUA Family Services. Before the break, we were talking about this big conference you've got coming up this weekend, or Saturday, I guess it is. And you mentioned your keynote person. Do you have some other folks that you want to talk about that are going to be there?
We do. So our keynote is session 1, and she'll be there from 9 to 12. And then we have an afternoon session with nonviolent communications for the next generation. So they're going to be coming to talk with people about a study called the ACEs, which is about adverse childhood experiences. And how those can really affect what we do as adults with children and also what children are going through. So it's about building compassion and understanding for the trauma that people have experienced and helping children move through that and understanding where they're coming from.
Is that things like bullying or child abuse?
It's probably, yes, all of those things.
Okay.
Bullying, child abuse. It can be even things like coming from a single-parent household could have adverse childhood effects on children. There's many different experiences that we all go through that they'll be discussing and talking about things like conflict resolution and, like I said, compassion and understanding for the children that you work with.
Interesting. Okay. And that's the afternoon session?
That's the afternoon session, yes. So we're excited for them to be joining us, too.
Now, is that a local organization that's coming? Or
there is a local component to the organization. I believe the people that are coming here from Oahu.
I see. Okay. Interesting. So now for this conference, we're talking about anyone who works with children. Could be parents.
It could be parents. It could be teachers. It could be social workers. Anyone that is really working with children. And our target age group is 0 to 8, which is the early childhood years.
Gotcha. Okay. 0 to 8. Ooh, we expanded a little bit. Yeah. Wow. And that's going to be held at your center. And Saturday. That's this Saturday, which is the what?
19th.
No.
The 9th.
9th. There we go. Okay. From 8 to 4. 9 to 4.
9 to 4.
9 to
yes.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, give them a call at 244-7467. Can they register right on the phone? Or?
They can register on the phone, or they can register on our website at imuafamilyservices.org.
Okay, great. And then the cost was $50. Mm-hmm. Very good. Does that include lunch?
It does not include
It does
lunch.
not
So
include
lunch is
lunch.
on your own, and
Okay.
I will be in the preschool classroom for anyone that wants to stop by and kind of talk story and check out the preschool classroom as well. So
Oh, cool. Good. So they get a little taste of what IMUA does. And great. Let's spend some time talking about the rest of the programs that you cover
sure.
under the educational wing.
So as education director, my primary responsibility is really the running and the organization of the preschool program that we have. Our preschool program is an inclusion program. So that means we have children who are typically developing, working alongside children who have diagnosed special needs or developmental delays. Now that could look very different from year to year. We have lots of different children that come, and what we truly believe is that everyone is an individual and that everyone deserves to have their needs met. So our goal is really to learn about each and every child and family and meet the needs that they have in the program in a group setting. So when you walked into the classroom, you might not know, or you wouldn't know who has special needs or who doesn't have
Right,
special needs
right.
in the classroom.
Interesting. Now that's why it's called inclusion, because you've got both spectrums.
Right.
Now that's a fairly new thing, isn't it? To not have a special class for people with needs.
It is a fairly new thing that's which has happened in the last few years, and there's definitely a need for it here on the island. There's not a lot of inclusion programs available for families.
And I don't want to say success, but the outcomes, I guess is a better word, of having an inclusion program. Is it working?
What we have seen in the last, this is my 4th year there now, so in the last 3 years, what we have seen is definitely children who leave our program with empathy, with understanding, and a real sort of helpful attitude towards others. They really encourage each other, and it's actually really beautiful to see.
Interesting.
See them. Yeah.
So, what about the child with the disability or the whatever? I mean, what I'm hearing from you is that the what's the correct term for the
Typically developing.
They're typically develop. I know there's always the PC stuff, right? Typically developing student is learning how to react to the one with the issues.
Right.
Does it work the other way around? I mean, does it help them?
It definitely works the other way around. It's beneficial for everybody involved. So the child that comes to us with a diagnosed need will get modeling from typically developing peers. You know, if, say, they have a language issue or a speech delay, they're going to be around a classroom full of children who are talking constantly. So they're going to get that. So, yeah, it definitely works both ways. And we see a lot of progress in all of the children when they go through the program.
So it's almost a self-help thing because they're being exposed to the others,
right?
And they want to become like them, and unless there's a real physical reason they can't, they do grow in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. I mean, I always wondered about the when they start dividing people up, because you can't do that,
right?
Kind of thing. Well, why not? That's my first question. Why can't they? Well, they've been diagnosed with something, but that's the start of the process,
right.
Not when they say you can't do it, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
That's not the beginning. So inclusion makes it the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful, and it works both ways. I like that.
Yeah.
Because so often the what's the word again? Typically?
The children who are typically developing.
Typically develop. Sorry, folks, if you're listening, I get slow once in a while here with remembering these things. Typically developing start to understand that not everybody's like them.
Right. Right, and that's a very important thing to move forward with in our lives. We are all individuals. We're all unique, and I think that, having that message early really does build compassion and understanding, which is exactly what our conference is about.
Right. Interesting. Now that would be, the outcomes from that, like you say, in the 3 years that you've been doing it, you see dramatic changes.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's unreal. What about the parents? How do they enter into this? I mean, are they seeing results? Are they happy with what's happening?
As far as I know, parents are very happy with what's happening. We have an open door policy, and we really are relationship based. So we have strong relationships with our families. Our families are welcome to come and join us throughout the day. We have open conversations with them about things that we've seen and progress that their child's made. So yeah, I think families really do see the benefits as well. And in fact, some families seek us out because we're inclusion, and they really are attracted to that aspect of our program.
I see.
In the preschool.
So, what are the children, typically developing children?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they there? Why do they come there? They don't need your services?
They don't need our services for children that have developmental delays
Right.
or special needs, but the preschool itself is open to
Okay.
children
They're there
who
for the
are
preschool.
typical, so they're there for preschool services.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I see. Okay,
as another option in the community.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, fascinating. I've learned a lot today. That's what I love about this program is I walk out of here and I'm thinking, boy, that's great what they do. You know, it's wonderful somebody thought to do that.
And we also have a program for toddlers and their families. So it's a family interaction program. It happens every Tuesday and Thursday at our offices at 1 o'clock. And that's a time for children to come in with their parent or caregiver and spend some time in a classroom with, materials available, toys available, and we go through a sort of playtime, and then we'll have a story time and a snack, and it gives them a little sort of preschool experience before they enter into a classroom setting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned, I'm sure you've got wait lists for all of your programs.
We do have wait lists for all of our programs. This program, however, is called Keiki Connect, and this one is open. We have a lot of space available for this program in particular, so folks can give us a call and reserve a space in that for Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Interesting. Why would somebody want to bring their child to this?
It's an opportunity for them to, again, it's an inclusive atmosphere. Okay. So we have children who are typical alongside children who have needs. It would give them an opportunity to have a socialization for an hour with a group of other children around their same age, but they don't have to drop them off anywhere, so it lessens the anxiety that some parents and children might feel.
I see. Okay, so it's introducing them to other children their age.
Yes.
Whereas, as we look around the community, a lot of times they aren't.
Right.
We don't have the neighborhood situations that we think of traditionally.
Exactly. We got to create the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Because for many reasons we don't have that, and a lot of that is because the parents, if there's two parents, they're working, and when they are home, they're home with their kids in the house.
Yeah, it's also an opportunity for parents to get together too. So it gives them that support system as well, because being here in Hawaii, we have families that come from all over, and so they might not necessarily have the same kind of supports that they would have if they were where they grew up and, with friends and family that they've grown up with. So it gives families a sort of support system that they can chat about issues that they might be having with their child or create play dates outside of the Keiki Connect program.
I see. Is there a charge for this?
There is not
program?
a charge. It's a free
charge.
program. Yeah.
Is there a charge for any of your programs?
We do charge for some programs. We do our best to keep things free or at least affordable. So some of our services are based on a sliding sliding scale.
Yeah.
Fee, yeah.
Sliding fee and scale. There we go. Let me get a ski out of it.
And we do charge for our preschool program.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
But there's lots of subsidies available.
Yeah. Oh, for scholarships, so forth. I see. Gosh, this is one of those days when I'm just kind of in awe of what you all are doing for our youth and our young children and for the parents. When I hear somebody say, "Well, I just can't do that because," I don't like that. That's not a term I'm familiar with. Mm-hmm. I can't do it because. You can do it because. But you got to get out there and you got to do some research. And I think that's what today's program has hopefully done for some parents, whether it's parents or grandparents, aunts, uncles, share the word with your folks, or neighbors. I mean, a lot of times you see somebody struggling and you don't want to get involved, but maybe just a hint that, hey, maybe the folks at Amua can help you, or the folks at Patch have this program. Did you ever thought about talking to them? And that's all it takes, right?
That's right.
So, other things that are going on over at Amua. Now, you've got, what's the first event you've got coming up?
Oh my goodness, we always have a lot of events
I
happening.
know you
we
do.
We have our big gala coming up. It's our Venetian ball, so the Venetian Carnival. So that will be happening March 30th, I believe, is the date
it's this
for
month.
that. Yep, the end of
Wow.
this month. And then shortly after that, in April,
Color
April
Festival.
13th is the Color Festival.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a fun one. So that's on the 13th. And then we will be having our Paddle Imua, which is coming up. I believe that's in May. And that is primarily a fundraiser for our Camp Imua,
Camp Amua, right. Gotcha.
which happens in June.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
I think we've got Dean on the schedule for quite a few of those.
I think he is, yeah. I'm
to
sure.
talk about. So happy to have you with us. You got a last comment you want to make? We're running short of time.
People can feel free to give us a call. You don't need a doctor's referral. If you have issues or concerns about your child, people can call us at any time. And please come to our conference.
Great. There we go. That conference is this Saturday. Give them a call at 244-7467 to find out more about it, to register, or go online to emuafamilyservices.org. During the first part of the show, we talked with Monet Becker, who is the Maui coordinator for Patch, People Attentive to Children, and talked about preschools and home.
Licensed family child care providers.
There you go. Speak up. That was a little timid there. Come on.
Licensed family child care providers.
Wonderful. And you can give her a call at 242-9232. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks
Thank
for having
great.
me.
Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Please give them a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Base Yard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. We want to just note that Pacific Source has been our sponsor from day one, and we thank them for their ongoing support now in our 10th year. To you, our listeners, we thank you for the response our agencies get from you regarding the activities that we talk about on the program. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies, and if you see one there that you're interested in learning more about, please click on their website and take a look at their programs and contact them directly. Again, I want to thank Monet Becker from Patch and Jima Medina from Emua Family Services. Little shy there because I covered up the page. It's always great to get an update on what the agencies are doing, and if you heard anything from them that you want to get involved in or check out further, please call the numbers that we gave you. We want to thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to join us again next week right here on Wednesday at noon on KAOI Radio, 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, 96.5 FM on the west side, and 98.7 upcountry. And actually, it's kind of all over Maui. Central Maui, yeah. It's a great one. We'll feature two more representatives of our Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. Until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. We want to thank you for joining us today. Have a great week, everyone. Aloha.